Don't be ridiculous, Franklin. I've read the files. The Doctor is a man.
Hello, Clyde. Hi.
Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and today I'm going to be breaking down some of my thoughts about what the problem with modern woke characters are. We're going to be covering a lot of different characters from a lot of different universes, and I do provide some references to a lot of these, but if you want some additional ones, I can provide them in the comments below. But this is just a really short, fast video that, didn't want to get it too bloated with lots and lots of different references, because there are literally dozens and dozens of examples of these issues that I reference. But let's jump right into it and see what the problem is. For those engrossed with the political ideology of diversity and inclusion, it is advantageous and altogether fruitful to label those who oppose their beloved woke characters as bigots, heathens, and Nazis, not worth the very air they breathe. However, for those who spend more than a fleeting moment passing such a judgment, a discovery of something far more complex and nuanced can be found in the opposition of wokeness. A careful inspection of these so-called anti-woke individual statements would reveal that diversity and inclusion in and of itself does not incite their dislike, for they can all list dozens of such diverse characters that they have loved since childhood. This opposition of wokeness is not born out of hatred, contrarianism, or any other such negative aspirations. It is born from an observation of the pattern and web that is spun whenever a woke character is devised. The three central points of this pattern that I've noticed are perfect and flawless characters, lazy writing born from the excuse of diversity, and theft from previously popular characters. These 3 points evident in woke writing are abhorrent to these anti-woke individuals, for these points signal the death of creativity and the death of good storytelling. If such flaws in fundamental ineptitude can be praised and elevated above superior work, the very integrity of filmmaking and storytelling as a whole will crumble, eroding all benefits derived from the necessity of such vehicles of communication.
Ray who? Ray Skywalker.
Perfect characters. There are many such examples of perfect characters born out of diversity, inclusion, and other such political motivations, but the clearest examples of this issue are Captain Marvel and Rey. Both characters exhibit boundless powers and abilities born from little to no conflict nor training, culminating in a flawless character that neither incites fan empathy nor admiration. A perfect character is a boring character. It is not a character's feats of strength or effortless victory that make them legends for decades to come. It is their struggle and their drive to overcome insurmountable obstacles, and their reactions and motivations for confronting such ordeals that inspires a connection to the audience. If Rey is just born amazing and undergoes little to no training before besting her master in combat on her second day, why should the youth meant to be inspired by her story be motivated? The only message this gets across to children is that they are either born great or worthless. If they do not immediately succeed at everything they do, there is no point in putting in any additional effort because their worth is already apparent. How is this an inspirational character or motivational story, as it was marketed to be by these politically motivated individuals? In a way that these woke people have difficulty understanding, it is not in the way that a character looks that gets the audience to relate to them. It is in their actions, decisions, the strength of character, and their heart that inspires relatability and timelessness. The mediocre writing that births such two-dimensional flat, perfect characters must be criticized before it becomes the norm. Sad truth is that those who do criticize such empty characters are mocked and hated by the politically motivated and called every horrific name under the sun to devalue and discredit their opinions to such a degree that their opinions seem meaningless on the broader scale. It is not sexist to call Captain Marvel and Rey empty characters who do not struggle and who do not exhibit the traits necessary to become the cultural icons that they were intended to be. Lazy writing. Another mainstay of wokeness in entertainment is the prevalence of hiring talentless writers with little to no experience, merely for the diversity checkbox that are derived from such hiring. This hiring practice, coupled with these writers' tendencies to focus on diversity in their work, generates a twofold problem. These writers are incapable of delivering a better product, but are shielded from criticism because of their diversity checkboxes. Anyone who questions their decisions or talent is immediately labeled as racist or sexist, thereby apparently nullifying their criticism. This creates an air of distrust between fans and studios, while ensuring that other such mediocre products become the norm, as other studios see how easy it is to get away with bad writing. Additionally, these writers tend to create diverse characters who then receive the same shield from criticism as the writers themselves. Suppose a black woman writes a black woman character completely ineptly, and a fan of whatever product or franchise this character resides within dares to deconstruct the flaws within the character. In that case, this fan is labeled with all the hateful names under the sun, again devaluing their opinion. For as long as diversity is used as a shield for inept and weak writing, the standard of quality with entertainment will continue to downgrade until the only staple for evaluation will be the diversity checkboxes. Everything else will be a moot point. The best example of such talentless writing is the introduction of Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor, who is lovingly called Dr. Karen. This character was written with all the complexities of paint drying. However, if anyone within the Doctor Who universe even questions her decisions or inconsistent moral structure, the Doctor would just say, "I've had an upgrade." Both the writers and the character in universe believe that this Doctor was superior to all predecessors merely for the subtraction of male genitalia. If this change had been coupled with equal or superior storytelling, very few fans would have had such a strong reaction to this change. However, this was not the case. The best example of the Doctor's inconsistency and lazy writing can be seen in Series 11, Episode 4, in which the Doctor is given a choice. Either quickly and painlessly put innocent yet dangerous creatures out of their misery quickly with guns, or horrifically and painfully suffocate them, letting them suffer for many minutes before their deaths. Just because an evil white man suggested the merciful option with the use of guns, this Doctor says, "No, guns are evil, let's suffocate them to death instead," before proceeding to torture these creatures to death. A more talented writer would see the contradiction in such a decision, and would remember that it fundamentally erodes the Doctor's firm moral foundation, ripping out the backbone of the character. But whenever anyone dares question this inconsistency, or any other such inconsistency within the 13th Doctor's era, they are labeled as sexist, again apparently devaluing their opinions, and shielding the lazy and inept writing in a cocoon of "you're just excess," which only inspires others to do the same and perpetuates lazy writing to overtake the entire industry.
And no one has stopped for 1 second to ask why. You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up. Because if you don't, the next Carly will. And you don't want to see 2.0.
Character theft. Character theft and assassination is no way to endear fans of a franchise and entice them to connect with newly created characters. This only services to alienate them and to divorce their love of the original character from this derivative and tokenized version of them. These writers and studio executives believe that they can just slap a new coat of paint on a character for their diversity and inclusion requirements, and that the fans will climb over each other to accept and love this new version of a once beloved character. These fans are more than happy to accept new, well-written characters that are original, as they have done so many times in the past. Nevertheless, they are robbed of this opportunity because those entrusted with these beloved franchises do not trust their own writers nor the fans' level of acceptance, choosing to instead bastardize what came before and hope it turns out for the best while using a slew of hateful attacks against those who criticize the theft. Miles Morales has become the key figure in the realm of tokenized and stolen characters. Some fans have learned to like this character, but many see him for what he is, a derivative of Spider-Man who relives much of Spider-Man's own story, having near word-for-word copy and pasted scenes from their respective first issues, in addition to Miles literally reliving the Clone Saga currently. Miles Morales has even gone on to be tokenized version of other characters such as Thor, Wolverine, and Captain America. If Miles Morales had not just been a derivative of Spider-Man, and if he had not just stolen past Spider-Man stories, there is enough within his character that would have enticed fans to still like him regardless. But the stain of theft and the cloud hanging over his character prevent many die-hard comic book fans from even giving him a chance. Rightfully so. Who likes to see something they love stolen, changed, and shoved back in their face with the demand that they love it or be called racist? This marketing approach only alienates fans, continuing the downgrade of the comic book industry from sales within the millions to sales within the thousands. Diversity and inclusion has always been a part of entertainment, so if studios and creative executives would focus on previously diverse characters that they summarily ignore or put in the effort to create original characters, they could still keep their industry at the height that it once was. However, theft and bastardization cannot sustain an industry for long.
Prove to me you can beat me without...
I have nothing to prove to you.
For those who have hurled hate at these so-called anti-woke individuals, the nuance of this argument will go unheard, but perhaps a few will realize that labels such as racist, sexist, homophobes, and transphobes are not warranted nor accurately applied to such individuals. Diversity and inclusion can work, as it has done so many times in the past, but when such diversity and inclusion is accompanied by these 3 points and others like them, fans have the right, nay the responsibility, to call them out in hopes of securing the integrity of the entertainment industries for generations to come. For without entertainment and the understanding of stories, our society will devolve. Sometimes people need well-made escapism. Sometimes they need to be inspired. And sometimes they need to believe in something greater than themselves. If diversity and inclusion comes at the price of good storytelling, it is not a price worth paying. Hopefully we can be a diverse and accepting society in our entertainment and as a whole, but it takes talented and intelligent people to do so in an honest and good ways that benefit society more than it detracts from it. Wokeness is a fundamental misunderstanding of this universal wish. One can only hope that good stories will endure through this tirade of hate. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.